Speaking about the broader economy and perhaps an even bigger effect that we could see than the housing fallout is commercial real estate. It's something you've been outspoken on. What are you looking at in terms of the concerns ahead for delinquencies on commercial real estate?
Yeah, well, the numbers are not good, the way we're headed on commercial real estate. Right now, we've got 2,988 banks. Remember, that's out of a total of only 8,000 banks in the United States. Concentrated sort of along the intermediate size, not the smallest and certainly not the largest.
So we're looking at regional banks.
That's right, who have what are called, by their own regulators, concentrations of real estate loans. More than 300% of their capital in real estate loans before you get to other loans. And look, real estate loans are in real trouble. By the end of the year, 50% of all commercial real estate loans will be underwater. And the big numbers are coming up for reset in 11, 12, and 13.
Well, and that is what Sheila Bair, the head of the FDIC, is so concerned about and has admitted 2010 will have more bank failures than even 2008, 2009 because of this exposure. And it's going to be those smaller regional banks. Yet the TARP money did go to some regional banks, but it also mainly went to the big banks. Is there a question of fairness here?
Well, it's not just fairness, although that's certainly in there. It's a question of what you're trying to accomplish. If you're really trying to get the economy back up on its feet, it's those regional banks and community banks that are powerfully important.
Sure.
The regional banks and community banks are not only the ones who do the commercial real estate lending, they're the ones who do the small business lending, and that's the engine of job creation.
Employing half of Americans.
Exactly. And so the problem we've got is as commercial real estate damages more and more of the mid-sized banks, we worry about the impact on small business lending. In other words, yeah, we get it about contraction, we get it about the fact that there may be lower demand, but that contraction we may not have seen all that we're going to see.
And a Consumer Financial Protection Agency, this is top of mind for you right now. It seems if we do see that included in financial reform legislation, in terms of regulatory reform, it may be watered down. Will it be?
I don't know, but let me put it this way. No one should start out with a battleship that was designed to sink. And I think the same thing is true with the Consumer Financial Protection Agency. We need to pass a strong, independent agency. Look, the laws to do most of what needs to be done by this agency are already on the books. They're on the books at the Fed, they're on the books at the OCC, and yet what have those agencies done with them? Nothing, right? They keep their ears covered, eyes covered. What it needs is it needs independence and it needs focus on consumers. So long as consumer is just, one more in a long laundry list of things we're supposed to think about sometimes, it always loses.
Well, why can't the Fed house this?
This is less about where it is on the org chart and more about whether it has genuine independence. Independence is about independent rule writing that doesn't get a veto by big banking interests, about independent enforcement, about an independent budget, and about an independent appointment for its head. If you have the indicia of independence, I don't know that I care if it's in the Department of Agriculture. What I care about is the strength, that this is a watchdog with some real teeth.
Do you have faith that we're going to see this?
I have
in the
hope.
near term?
I have hope that we're going to see it. And the reason for that is because the American people need it. This is the one piece of financial reform that everybody gets. It's about the difference between the 30-page credit card agreement that most of us are living with now, the fine print that nobody gets, and the tricks and the traps, and the 2-page agreement. Terms are clear, you can read them, no more room for tricks and traps. The same thing on car loans, the same things on check overdraft, the same thing all the way through the consumer financial system. And we're talking about big money here. On credit cards alone, the companies brought in about $120 billion last year on penalty fees, fees, interest rates.
Well, we do have credit card reform now, at least. We have that. But you want to see it further, further. I understand.
I'm glad for the credit card reform. I really am. But think about what it did. It outlawed 10 bad practices. It looked better than not, but it's like putting 10 fence posts out on the prairie. If anyone's dumb enough to run straight into one, they will have a problem.